Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Saturday, March the 11th, 2023. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only JP Davis 1982, also known as Josh Davis, also known as Crash. And I would assume you have some other aliases out there, Josh. How you doing, my man?
Yeah. Doing well. I'm not gonna lie, I had to hold back there at the beginning because I'm so used to doing the intro now. So I almost said, the whole welcoming thing. So
that's great. I love it.
I'm so used to it now. But
well, you're the Iron Man of podcasting, so I get it, no doubt.
It's been a long time since you and I have done a podcast together, though. I know that.
I know it. I know it. It has been a minute, and I miss it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we're not going to mess around today. We're going to keep everybody moving because I know everybody's super busy on their Saturday. So we're going to fire through all 9 of these games. We're going to talk about them, break them down, give you some of our best pay-up options, our best fades, talk about like the million injuries that there are that are going to affect this slate dramatically. And then we're going to give away a couple of tickets. And we're also going to do a 2 brains are better than 1 lineup. So no messing around today, man. We got to get cooking and get after this for sure.
Do it.
All right, real quick, a quick hello to Stacks. What's up, Stacks? I thought it was Stacks 77, wasn't it?
Stacks Money 77, I think.
Yeah, it's just Stacks now. Where's the Luca 77 Stacks, man? But you're still my man for being the first one in there. Pain Blank SM, also known as Dead Presidents. Welcome. JT taking a break. Mr. Timberlake from the tour. Great to have you. And of course, he is known as the king of all trades, not just NBA trades, DFS trades. He is the king of all trades. That's for sure. All right. No messing around today. I promised myself I was going to just bust it for the people. And that's what we're going to do, Crash. How about we get into game number 1? And there's a lot of them tonight. Yep, 7 o'clock game. It's the Indiana Pacers, 30-37 at the Detroit Pistons, 15-52. Obviously, the news is massive here, like it is in a lot of places. We will have and definitely need the news on Halliburton and Turner and McConnell. All 3 questionable. And if we have any updates while this is going on, please throw it right in chat, and we'll read and react to it right away. Mathurin is out for Indiana, and also a laundry list for Detroit. They are really mailing it in. Probable on Bagley out is Bogdanovich, Burks, Diallo, Ivy, and Stewart. So a big chunk of their rotation. This game has Indiana as a 5.5-point road favorite, and it's a paltry 229, which you would think these 2 teams with their horrible defenses would be higher, but it's still 229. So I'm not sure if it's just Vegas realizing these teams are not good or all the injuries are making everybody a little bit afraid. So break this game down for us. How do you see this one rolling? And is this a game that's going to be a focal point for you?
Not really a focal point. I do like Tyrese Halliburton. He's 10-2 on DraftKings, 10-6 on FanDuel, $41 on Yahoo. He's averaged 60.9 DraftKings points in his last 4 games. The Pistons have allowed the 2nd most fantasy points to point guards this year, and he's coming in at below 2% ownership on both DraftKings and FanDuel and 8.4% on Yahoo. So pretty low owned. I think he's a decent pay-up option tonight. And then on the Detroit side, I do like James Wiseman. He is on Yahoo. He is pretty chalky. He's coming in at 26.4%. And he's only $15 over there, though. And then there is the Killian Hayes chalk, but I was going to ask you about this. I actually think that Corey Joseph is a better play. When you look at the stats, I mean, Corey Joseph has actually been outperforming Killian Hayes outside of 1 game, over the last several games. So are you going to be playing any of those guys I mentioned, or are you passing on this game?
I really don't like this game. I think it's going to be, really tempting for a lot of people to jump on because there is a lot of value, and there is definitely some chalk here. But, I mean, first of all, it's impossible to comment on the Pacers until we know about Halliburton, Turner, and McConnell. So
Sure.
once that news breaks, we can react to it, because if they're in or if they're out, it's just going to shuffle the deck. There might be a good value play or a pay up opportunity for either Halliburton or Turner.
Yeah.
So we just need the news there, period. So stay tuned. We'll be following the news up until lock. We'll be posting lineups. And, if you're a member at Coach Talk or you're looking to become a member, go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can see it scrolling on the bottom. $19, you get all the rest of the month of March for free. And everything that we do, $19 is going to cover all of the ownership and projections, the lineups, which we provide a core for DraftKings, a full lineup for FanDuel and Yahoo. So you definitely want to come in and join us. I don't like the Killian Hayes chalk for the exact reason that you said. I think he splits the minutes with Corey Joseph. I know a bunch of the other guys are out, but they're going to play Magruder and they're going to play just RJ and a bunch of guys. So I don't like that backcourt situation, even though it's extremely shorthanded. I prefer as a value guy in this game is Isaiah Livers. He's the guy that nobody's really talking about, and he's consistently getting mid-20s to 30 minutes, and he can produce. He's not going to blow the doors in, but I have a pretty stars and scrubs build, and he's one of the scrubs that fits in at that price that I expect to be really the only guy disassociated with all the other stuff in the backcourt and front court. With Duren back, Bagley, Wiseman, and Duren in there, I don't want any part of that either. So This is going to be wait on the Pacers news, take a shot at Livers' value for me in game 1.
I like it.
Game 2, 7 o'clock as well. It's the Miami Heat, 36-32 at the Orlando Magic, 27-40. We could get a return from Kyle Lowry today. He's been out for a long time. He is questionable. We know Martin and Robinson are out for Miami. So no injuries reported for Orlando at all. Miami only a 2.5 point road favorite here, which I thought that line was a little surprising. And a very poor 221.5 as most Heat games are. So what are you doing with this one?
Yeah, there's let's see, who's the one play I liked here. Jimmy Butler, I think that he's in a pretty decent spot. He's 8,700 on DraftKings,
okay,
9,200 on FanDuel, $38 on Yahoo. He's averaged 53 DraftKings points his last 6 games against the Magic. They've allowed the 5th most fantasy points to small forwards. He's at pretty low ownership. Is Kyle Lowry going to be a decent value, you think, or do you think that he's going to be on a minutes restriction?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. He's
45.
old,
yeah,
but he's super old and he hasn't played in a long time. I don't trust that at all.
Yeah, he's 45.
All it does is eliminate guys like Vincent and all those other guys, because if they're all chopping up minutes,
and I think that Chris Dunn, who we're going to get to here in a minute with Clarkson out, is going to be a better play at point guard anyway. So
I agree with you. I want to say real quickly hello to Doug L. We know him as Doug W in Discord, though, because we know he's a winner because he's part of Coach Talk. Nathan Feudy, what's up, my friend? Great to see you in there. And I agree with you guys. There's value everywhere and still a bunch of news that still has to drop. So we could even have more value on top of everything else. So we'll find out how that goes. King of all trades saying he sort of likes Kevin Love with Martin out. The thing is, this game is just not the best game conducive to DFS. In my opinion, it's just a lower scoring game. We don't know really what to expect with the rotation. We know Orlando's going deeper. Now with Mo Wagner coming back off the bench, he'll get some minutes. Suggs finished the game and played 30 minutes this last game. So that's going to shuffle the deck a little. So it gets a little bit difficult, only with a 109 implied for Orlando, and only 111 for Miami. This game, I think, is going to be a full pass for me, Crash.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I mean, the low over under. I can definitely agree on that.
All right, game 3. We have 2 more 7 o'clock Eastern games. Game 3 is the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit. Or wait a minute here. I'm on the wrong screen. We already did that one. Crash?
Yeah, we're doing the Utah-Charlotte game.
No. Okay, I'm back over to the correct screen here. That old Knicks Clippers game threw me off too, because that's an early game that's not on the slate.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz 32-33, Charlotte Hornets 22-46. What a bad season for them. Clarkson out, Sexton out, as we have seen in the past. So that'll be very big impact on that backcourt again. Terry Rozier looks like he's going to roll. Mark Williams, who rolled his ankle twice in the last game, is questionable. Yeah. So we're not sure he's going to be in or not. And the other Martin brother is also out. So the twin Martin brothers always seem to be out at the same time with injuries. It's really, really weird, but it's happened. And sometimes they have the same injury, Crash. That's what blows your mind. So this game, Utah's a 1.5-point road favorite, so it should stay close. This one's also only a 229 total, even though these two teams can't defend, a mishmash of you and I and Lanny out there. So what the heck are you going to do with this game? Because it kept popping up on my projections, and I want to get there, but is it all value here, or are you going to pay up for some folks?
I think you could pay up for Lauri Markkanen. I think he's a pretty decent pay up option. Kessler is in a good spot against the Hornets. They've allowed the most fantasy points to centers. You got, with the Clarkson news, you've got Chris Dunn that we talked about. I think he's in a pretty good spot. Talen Horton-Tucker's been putting up decent numbers lately without Jordan Clarkson, 38.5 and 38.3 DraftKings points. And then if Mark Williams sits, then Nick Richards is going to be a good value play. He is only $4,000 on DraftKings and $12 on Yahoo. He's $5,400 on FanDuel, so I think he's a little pricey over there. But on DraftKings and Yahoo, he's a decent value. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and, I like this game. This is going to be an important game for me, Crash, because I'm totally going to be on the Chris Dunn bandwagon.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to, with Clarkson and Sexton out, whether he starts or comes off the bench, he's going to get good minutes. He's going to close, and he gets you peripheral stats. He's going to grab you a few steals, a few rebounds, maybe a block. And I think at that price, he's just a great value. And then I'm hoping my other stars and scrubs, other value monster here will be Nick Richards. So I am crossing my fingers that Mark Williams sits.
Yeah.
I had him that last game, so I painstakingly watched when he twisted his ankle. He left the game. He was out for a while. They worked on him. He came back into the game, and he had to leave again because the ankle was bothering him. So you've got a young center like that. I'm just really thinking, at 22-46, they're in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Just let the kids sit. Yeah. Let me get my super cheap center, Nick Richards, who does a great job in fantasy points per minute. I mean, he gets rebounds, blocks. So, if I know I'm getting 25, 30 minutes out of Richards, he's a plug and play, easiest push on the board for me if Williams is out.
Yeah.
So, and then my favorite pay up guy, Crash, it's Lauri Markkanen. You said it. I love this spot. Like I say, it's going to be a key game. I know the number's not that great in Vegas, but neither team plays any D. And I think Markkanen is going to be a huge part of what I'm doing. Hopefully I can get to those two value plays. And if it gets crazy and I have a few extra bucks, because again, it's more stars and scrubsy. I'm more of a mid-level guy. I'd still like to grab Kelly Oubre if possible, but not a lock and load, but a guy that I'm interested in. So this game has some teeth for me.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing about Mark Williams is it's the first night of a back-to-back, so they're going to be in Cleveland tomorrow. So I would think they would rest Williams. I do.
Well, I sure hope so, because if not, I have to do a lot of shuffling and find a substitute value guy.
Right.
All right, so those are the 7 o'clock games. We have 1 7:30, 2 8 o'clock, and 2 8:30, and a 9. So you can get your sleep tonight, even though you got 9 games on the board, Crash.
Yeah, I know.
Because we know when you lose an hour or two of that beauty sleep, it's a rough ticket.
Yeah, I gotta get up early and play drums tomorrow too. So
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We
I
lose.
want to say hello to somebody that I cannot pronounce their name because it's in another language, but he's talking about Wembanyama not being that great over there, talking a little noise on Wembanyama, which is interesting. I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how great that kid's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
King of all trades likes Olynyk, which, he's a grinder. I get it. Kessler, I'm starting to sour on Walker Kessler a little bit, Crash. He just doesn't, the consistency's not there that I expected, but he's a baby, so I get it.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Todd lives for Saturdays and Sundays, is wanting to talk Bucks with you. So good Lord, here we go with the Bucks talk. We'll see how that all rolls, man. All right. King of all trades, we definitely need the Williams news, and I do like the combos in that game. I think there's a lot of great potential there. Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at Crash. Let's take a detour for a second and look at ownership. I'll go through real quickly. Again, part of your membership with Coach Talk is we're posting, our boy from Cali is posting our ownership in chat, projected ownership each day. So you'll see DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo projected ownership about an hour before lock is about when we share it. So as far as there's a lot of chalk today, Crash. On DraftKings, it reads like this: Hayes, Hardaway Jr., Wood, Hampton, RJ Hampton, 32%. Josh Green, good Lord. Jason Tatum, SGA, Corey Joseph, Jalen Johnson. There you go. Names always popping up on here that, like, say, what, top 10 Jalen Johnson? A week ago, you'd have laughed at me. CJ McCollum coming off a big game, THT, and your buddy Chris Middleton, who was a stinker in that last game. Yeah. Then on FanDuel, THJ, Christian Wood, THT, Hayes, Bagley, Okogie sighting. Dunn, as I mentioned, Mark Williams, I guess if he's in, people are playing him. Markkanen, Olynyk, who was mentioned in our chat. Your buddy Middleton, Corey Joseph, DeMar DeRozan. That's one I haven't played in a while. Mm-hmm. And then Triple J. And on Yahoo, THT again. People love to push the THT button for some reason. He's not even that cheap. He's $19 on Yahoo. But I guess, Then you got Booker, Middleton, Hayes, Hardaway Jr., Corey Joseph, Christian Wood, DeRozan, Oubre Jr., Portis. I think you're going to be on Portis today is my prediction. Terry Rozier, Bagley III, and Herbert Jones. So there you go. That gives you a feel for what we've got ownership-wise. Mm-hmm. Back to the board, 7:30 game is Boston and Atlanta. Boston's 46-21. Atlanta comes in 34-33. No Gallinari, Pritchard, or Robert Williams for Boston. DeAndre Hunter is questionable for Atlanta. I'm thinking he's not going to play, but we'll see. And Bogdanovich is already deemed out. Boston only a 5.5-point road favorite. A nice 237.5. So a lot of people are going to be looking at this game today. Crash, is one of those people going to be you?
No. I just don't like the way Boston's been playing lately. And it's a 9-game slate. If it was a smaller slate, I'd probably have more interest in this game. But I don't know. I just don't have a strong feeling either way. Boston's pretty good defensively. Between Tatum and Brown, it's hard to split up the usage there. To pay, 10-6, 10-8, 47 on Yahoo for Tatum. I think he's probably my favorite play in this game, but, he's a little pricey to me. So I'm really not. I mean, you've got Marcus Smart and some of Malcolm Brogdon, some of those guys to defend the guards from Atlanta, and I don't really like any of their bigs either. So, I'm pretty much fading this game for the most part.
Wow, that's a shocker because we are on the same page. I think my differentiator, I guess it's going to be both of our differentiators, is I don't know if I'm going to have any exposure to this game. Now, can you take down a 9-game slate and without having any exposure to the highest scoring game if it's 237.5 or plus? I think you can, because for a lot of the reasons that you said, Tatum's an arm and a leg. Jaylen Brown is still, I would love to grab Jaylen Brown at like $8,000, but I'm not paying over 9,000 for him. I just doesn't make sense to me when you've got Tatum out there on the floor. And then again, Horford's just awful. They're going to use Muscala and different guys. It's a nightmare. You don't have to go there, in my opinion. And then I don't find myself going to Atlanta at all. I mean, you've got Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and they're so expensive, and you never know which one's really going to go off. And like you said, you've got really plus defenders in Smart, White, and Brogdon. I mean, Boston's backcourt, not even counting Brown and Tatum, they're just good defensively. So I don't want to spend top dollar when there's 18 games being played to try to decide between Young and Murray. And I'm with you. That whole thing with the rotation of bigs with Collins and Capella and Okongwu and some different things that Quinn Snyder's trying there. I know Capella's the safest, but I just, I could see going to him a little bit here. I do want to see the news on Hunter, because I may be one of the guys to bite on Johnson. If
Bogdanovich is out, which he is, and then Hunter's questionable, I mean, it doesn't leave a whole lot out there for small forwards. So
no, and Johnson's playing good ball. He's in the rotation, and he's cheap. It plays into my stars and scrubs. If I'm going to get to the 3 specific guys that I want to get to as my 3 pay-ups, I'm going to need 3 dead cheapies like a Johnson. So
that's interesting, because I don't have anybody like that in my lineups. I mean, I have some decent priced guys, but I don't have anybody over 10K. So,
well, I'll just tell you right out of the chute here: SGA and Booker and Marketing.
92. I think he's 97. I think he's 9,000. So they're all under 10K. Yeah,
they're all under 10K, all above 9K, but still 3 guys in the 9K range. You need.
Yeah, you're gonna have. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but those are the guys that I'm going to be.
Yeah, I like all 3 of those too. So yeah,
awesome. All right, that is it. So that game again for the Coach Talk family, that's going to be a little bit of a different one as far as what a lot of people are going to be going with. So
yeah.
All right.
So, Coach, this is how I'm looking at this slate, and we've got one more game before we get into the last 4. The first 5 games, I won't have very much ownership at all. All my ownership is going to come in the last 4 for the most part, I think.
Okay. So you're going to have to be patient as the night goes on. You'll be one of those down toward the bottom and then make the gigantic rush to the championship. That's what I'm hoping I see.
Yeah, that's what I hope to happen.
No doubt. All right, Rozier questionable. Yeah, that would really even help Oubre, maybe Hayward a little bit, some of those guys. Doug L thinks Boston's going to blow out Atlanta. Vegas doesn't think that. That's for sure. Okay, let's keep rolling. We're doing really well time-wise here. We're going to have to get Deb to watch this to see how to go super fast on a podcast.
Yep.
She'll love that. All right. So here we go. 8 o'clock. Chicago Bulls 30-36. Houston Rockets 15-51. Javonte Green is out for Chicago. Porter looks like he will play for Houston, so they're probably going to have a full unit there. Chicago's favored by 8, and it's a 224 total. So not too exciting on all of those fronts. What are you going with?
I like the forwards for Houston here. Jabari Smith and Tari Eason. I think it's a pretty good spot for them. Probably lean towards Eason because Jabari Smith had that monster game last time out.
Oh, my God. He went crazy.
We haven't seen anything even close to that from him.
No.
But I think the forwards are in a good spot. I think DeRozan's in a good spot too. I just don't think I'm going to have enough salary to get to him with the Devin Bookers of the world and other people like that. So, not a whole lot here either. Like I was saying, most of the ownership for me is going to be in the last 4 games.
Yeah, this game is the easiest pass game on the slate for me. I hate it. I mean, first of all, you've got the Chicago Bulls, other than because Pop, you never know exactly what he's going to do. The Bulls are my least favorite team in DFS this year. They suck, man. I mean, you try to figure out between Levine, DeRozan, and Vuk and all of that nightmare, and then some of that backcourt rotation. It's just, I mean, they underwhelm all the time. Their scores are lower. They're decent defensively. I just, I hate this game. And Houston, you know, they're of all teams trying to lose more than anybody. And they have all these quote unquote soft caps like Şengün, they won't let get over 28, 30 minutes generally. And, you know, now the Porter and Green are back. You never know, you know, when you're going to get one of those bizarre pop-up games from somebody like a Jabari Smith. I don't believe he can do that back-to-back, especially against a decent defensive team like Chicago. So this game is like stamp and pass. It's an 8-game slate for me.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I'm with you.
Next game, it's going to all be dependent on the news, obviously. We have another 8 o'clock game. It's Dallas at Memphis. Dallas is 34-33. Grizz are 39-26. Bullock and McGee are expected to play. Kyrie's, you know, the biggest piece of news on the slate, let's face it, because Luka's out. If Kyrie plays, then I'll probably shift from one of those 3 pay-ups and go to Kyrie. If he doesn't play, then there's my extra value that I'm going to need. Just plug and play whoever you want, Jalen Hardy, whatever, for Dallas, because somebody's going to take shots and have to do it. So,
and you're going to be taking shots watching that game.
Yeah, that news is critical, man. Absolutely critical. So we'll follow that very closely. But for Memphis, the second-year player, Laravia from Wake Forest, he is probable. No Adams, Morant, or Williams. So, you know, we're back to that. Tyus Jones's price is up now. Bane was terrible. I played him the last game. He looked like he's playing the wrong sport. He need to go play football. We know Dylan Brooks, and he actually did okay. Brooks and crazy man from Golden State, Draymond, they were hating on each other, and they both played pretty hard. So you can't really trust him. Jaren Jackson and Tillman are tempting. Those are the 2 bodies that are the tempting people from the Memphis side. And again, for me on Dallas, you know, if Irving sits, then you got to really look at Hardaway, and you really got to look at the rookie Hardy, in my opinion. And then, you know, so this could be a key game for me. If Irving plays and I can't squeeze him in, I'd like to, because I think just the usage is going to be off the charts.
Yeah.
You know, I could go as much as, you know, an Irving backed up on the other side with a Tillman or Jackson. So it's news dependent for me, Crash. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it is for me too. I mean, Kyrie's just, you know, he's played really well. Maybe had a couple of games where he didn't play that well since he joined Dallas. So I just think he's in a good spot with Luka out. And his last 5 games against Memphis, he scored 60-plus DraftKings points in 4 of them. So
nice.
We've had some really nice matchups with Memphis. I know Dylan Brooks has been talking smack about how he's going to lock him down and everything. So that's going to be interesting to see. I don't get the Christian Wood chalk. I think that's going to be another bad chalk. Like I said the other day with Derek White, I mean, he hasn't been doing anything. I don't think that Jason Kidd is just going to randomly change his rotation. I mean, do you see why Christian Wood should be 48% owned?
No, I like Christian Wood, and as a Mavericks fan, I wish they would start him and play him 35 minutes because we need his points. I know he sucks defensively, but the Mavs suck defensively anyway. Now that Maxi Kleber's back and he's in the picture, I know Kidd hates Wood, and he just never plays him enough minutes. So I don't understand the chalk there. But you know, we do need to see if Kidd sees Kyrie not playing, he may shake it up and try to get offense in there and start a Wood or something. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, the current projections are based on Wood coming off the bench, so that's why it doesn't make sense. Like if we had news that was saying that Irving was going to be out, it would make more sense. But with Irving starting projected, I mean, the ownership doesn't make sense. But anyway, Tim Hardaway Jr., I think he's a solid play. He's had 34.1 DraftKings points his last 3 games. Mega chalky, 59.8 on DraftKings, 47.8 on FanDuel. And then I can't remember what he is on Yahoo, but he's highly everywhere.
Yeah.
I think Tyus Jones is probably a decent play on Yahoo at $26. I don't think that's too bad. He's 7,100 on DraftKings, 7,600 on FanDuel. Again, would probably just go with Chris Dunn at point guard. And that's about it for this game. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I think that you really have to just wait on this Irving news, and then we'll shuffle the deck. I'm going to put my initial lineups and post them. And if Irving's in or out, then I may shift. So if you're a member, stay tuned in Discord for any changes that take place. I mean, we're in March. You're going to have teams out of it. They're playing out the string, the last 15 games or so, and you're going to have to watch this. I mean, you can't just set rosters and run, unfortunately. It's just too much volatility at this point. But, yeah, I think this can be a decent game. Certainly not super stackable, because these teams can also go ice cold at times. Especially with no Ja, no Luka in there. It's a totally different ball game. All right, my friend, we have 2 8:30 games. The first one is the Oklahoma City Thunder, 31-35. They've slipped to quite a bit below 500 here lately. The Pelicans are also below 500, 32-34. No injuries for the Thunder. The massive news here is Brandon Ingram. I'm a huge Ingram guy. You know me. I love Brandon Ingram, one of my favorites, because he has a nice ceiling anytime he laces them up. But he's questionable, so we need that news big time. No Alvarado, Liddell, Nance, or Cheeseburgers Williamson. Those guys are all out. We have the Pels are only a 2-point favorite, so respect for the Thunder in Vegas, and a really decent 234 total. I think that's super respectable.
Yeah.
So again, for me, one of my key pay-ups on this entire slate is going to be SGA. I love him in this matchup, and I love the fact that he doesn't have to deal with annoying Alvarado off the bench harassing him for 20 minutes or whatever he would get. So he's out. So I like the matchup here. I think they're going to have trouble containing him, and hopefully he gets just full court minutes, which I'm expecting to invest that. And when he's sub 10K, I think SGA is just a solid play, because neither one of these teams plays good defense, and they both play fast. So you're on the SGA bandwagon with me?
I am. Not on FanDuel though. At 10.5, I'm not going to be able to get that.
He's priced up there. That's true.
The other play I like is Jalen Williams. He's been playing really well. He had 43.3 DraftKings points against New Orleans on February 13th.
And that's with a Y, right? The one with a Y?
No, Jalen.
Oh, the wing.
Yeah,
he's so expensive though. Why is he's so?
Yeah, he's gone up for sure, but I mean, he's been producing, like I said, 48 last 4 games, 48 DraftKings points average. So he's been producing well. 7,100. I mean, that's not terrible. I could definitely, if he's going to get me, even 40, 45, I can live with that.
That's reasonable.
$30 on Yahoo. And then on the Pelicans, obviously, if Ingram's out, McCollum's in play. I think Trey Murphy is in play. He's only $17 on Yahoo. So I like that price on Yahoo.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. Yeah, I like this game. I think you can pick some spots here. You can get some value. You can pay up. If Ingram's in and 100% go, I'd love to have SGA versus Ingram in this game. That would be, I think, a nice buckets trade. And then, I agree with you on the Jalen Williams without the Y, but I don't know if I'm going to have the dollars. I don't trust the minutes on the big Jalen Williams with the Y. He's had his minutes chopped around lately with Sarge and different guys there. So I'm not going to go there. But the 2 guys that I always have one of these 2 in my lineup, it seems like, because they're always so affordable, and that's Trey Murphy or Herbert Jones. They
Yeah.
both get good minutes. They both have a decent ceiling. That takedown slate that I had earlier in the week, those guys were scattered in my lineups. And, for me, there's no reason not to go back to one of those spots. So the pay up opportunities there, definitely with SGA and Ingram, and a couple of value spots, I think, with the Pels wings.
I like it.
All right. Let's go to the next one. It's this other 8:30 game, and it is your Milwaukee Bucks. This is another missed game for Giannis. Is he getting a little soft, Crash?
No.
I am messing.
Yeah,
I would never say that for real. I don't want you to blow your blue hat off your head there and start breaking stuff. We respect Giannis, or as Deb calls him, Giannis.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about this game. We've got 48 and 18 Bucks. What 30 games over 500. Amazing. Warriors are 34 and 33. No Giannis, no Wesley Matthews. We have probable on Iguodala and Thompson, and no Kuminga, Payton, or Wiggins. You've got the Golden State Warriors favored by 3, Crash. That's the disrespect for no Giannis. Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
29 games better, and they're given underdog status here, Crash.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do here, buddy? You're the Bucks man.
So when I was initially building my lineup, I didn't know the news if Giannis was going to be out for sure. Now that we know that he is out, Drew Holiday has been playing really well when Giannis is out of the lineup. So I definitely like him, especially if Kyrie Irving's out. I think he's a nice pivot. And Bobby Portis, as you mentioned, I think he's a solid play. He had, even with Giannis playing in their last matchup, which was on December 13th, he had 42 DraftKings points. He had 42.3 with Giannis in the lineup. So I do like Bobby Portis. I think Steph Curry's a fade for me. He's only scored 36.8 DraftKings points his last 5 games against the Bucks. So I think that was a pretty surprising number when I saw that. And then Klay Thompson, I think he's in a pretty good spot. He did have a 60 DraftKings points game against the Bucks last March. Yeah. He's got no ownership.
It's because he's dinged a little bit, though.
The 3-point shot from wings is usually what kills the Bucks. So I think Klay Thompson, could be a decent spot, but he is pretty expensive, especially on DraftKings at 8,400.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed that he's that pricey, because I agree with you. We know that that Milwaukee will give up a lot of threes.
Yeah,
and that makes me interested in Poole and Thompson a little bit. I mean, I just think Curry's so expensive. It makes it really hard. I'm with you on Portis. What's your take on Middleton?
Middleton's been too up and down for me. I know I liked him that one game they had against, I think, Orlando, and he had a nice game then. But I don't know. We'll have to see more from Middleton more consistently. I mean, it could be a decent game for him, but I need to see more from him more consistently. And I've got quite a few options at the small forward position already. On FanDuel, they've got him at shooting guard. I've got him in one of my lineups. So
yeah. What's his price there?
Is it 71?
That's so tempting, because he's going to bust out at some point.
Yeah, no, 77 on FanDuel. So it's a little expensive. 76 on DraftKings. I think he's still pretty cheap on Yahoo, though. 26. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like some exposure, but again, he's burned a lot of people with this semi coming back deal. But I prefer looking at the bigs, either Portis or Lopez. I think those two have a nice ceiling. I think Portis will be pretty popular, but I like him as well. I think, anytime he's getting additional run, he's going to get some fantasy points. And then really on Golden State, I'm with you. I'd like to grab one of their 3-point shooters, specifically Poole or Thompson, just from a cost standpoint. But, 241 is that total, though, Crash. I mean, you almost have to have some exposure there. I don't think you can. I know we're faded the other high-scoring game, but
The guy who's really been killing it for Milwaukee is Brook Lopez, but he has not had much success at all in this matchup. So if I go with the recent, stats and everything, Brook Lopez would be a good play, but he's never really had a good game against Golden State. And he usually plays a little bit better at home than on the road.
Yeah.
That last game, my God, he had 9 blocks.
So, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you said he might be a defensive player of the year, and that was before the 9 blocks, I believe you said.
Yeah, so it was several weeks ago when
I got to tip my hat to you on that one. That's unbelievable. All right, I want to say hello to anybody else that joined. Absolute Power, how are you, my friend? Great to have you in here with us. Bunch of good comments, bunch of people chatting. I'm going to give one of the tickets away, and there's 2 things you can do. If you want to take advantage of the March Madness special, get the rest of the month, everything we've got, full, all in, everything. It's $19. Go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk and just DM us. Say, I would like the March Madness special for $19, and we will send you an invite. You can sign up and get right in there. Also, if I call your name for one of these tickets, also on Twitter, go to at DFS Coach Talk, DM us and say, I won a free ticket for tonight's contest. The first winner is Stacks. Stacks, you are not only the first one in, you are the winner. Why it doesn't say Stacks 77 anymore, I don't know. But congratulations, Stacks. Shoot me a DM at DFS Coach Talk, and we will send you a winning ticket for tonight and get you in there and get this done. All right, we have one more ticket we'll give away at the end. And we have one more game to go. It is the solo 9 o'clock game, the Sacramento Kings at the Phoenix Suns. Deb might be going to that game, actually. We'll have to check with Deb, I think. She may have said she's going to this one. Sacramento's 39-26. Phoenix is 37-29. No injuries for Sacramento. They've really stayed healthy. Obviously, we've got Kevin Durant. How weird a thing was that, Crash? Did you see KD get hurt in warmups?
Yeah, he slipped and fell when they were doing the warmups the other night. I had him in every lineup.
It was the weirdest thing, too, because it didn't even look like he really slipped. It's like he just planted and something buckled with those chicken legs of his. It was so weird. But so Durant's going to be out for a while. Shamet is still out. So I'll just take one little piece of lightning from you here, Crash. I love Devin Booker tonight. Booker's playing with an edge lately. With KD back out, I think he's going to get, the all-you-can-eat treatment, and he's playing like a champ right now. So I'm all over Booker. He's going to be the guy that is going to take me to the promised land in that last game. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I have Devin Booker pretty much everywhere as well. Other than him, Sabonis has had some nice games against Phoenix. They last played on Valentine's Day, and he had 56.8 DraftKings points.
Nice.
So in a GPP, I think he's a decent pivot from Booker. And then Okogie's really chalky. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go there or not. He's very chalky, though. Chris Paul has had a nice game. He had 55.8 DraftKings points on the Valentine's Day game. Let's see who else. Kevin Huerter's been pretty hot lately. I think he could, be a little bit of a decent low-owned option. He's like less than 1% on all 3 sites. So, I like this game. I'll probably have 2 or 3 guys from it.
Yeah, I think it's going to get a lot of play. And it is a late game that has a tendency to, people like to have something in that late night deal. And again, I don't let that sway me, but I just think Booker's in such a great spot here. And I like some of the value guys. I think a Keegan Murray or a Harrison Barnes, a Kevin Huerter, a Josh Okogie, those guys are all cheap and they all get good minutes. And I'm not opposed, if things shuffle a different way, of using one of the other buy-up spots that I've already indicated, even for a Sabonis or a Fox. I think you can at least think about those guys. But My reason I didn't go to one of those two is just because I do respect Phoenix's defense. They're only favored by 4, and they don't have KD. But you remember, they haven't had KD that long. They were on this awesome streak and playing terrific ball before he got there.
Right.
And I think a lot of that will continue.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to have overexposure to this game, but I will have definitely be booking it. And then probably a value play or two of those secondary guys, because you've got that 240 total, which you have to respect tremendously. And I think, similar to the Golden State Milwaukee game, you've got to have some exposure. These two games are the highest Vegas totals, and I think they both, deserve to. The pace is good, and I think, there are definitely some good plays in there, no doubt about it. All right, fantastic. Doug L's going to go with 3 Suns today. Wow, okay. I mean, 2 is probably – I generally on a 9-game slate crash, I don't usually go more than 2 guys unless it's just a real, blatant value spot. I just think you got to, be a little bit more cautious there. So, hey, I want to thank everybody. Crash, we got a big group in here today. So thank you, everybody, for joining in and being with us. Absolutely love it. And we tried to do the pace a little bit faster today. I know we have a tendency to drag it sometimes, and we want to share all the information in the world. And hopefully we got all of that to you. So if you want ownership, you want to be part of the best DFS Coach Talk group in our Discord, all you have to do is go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. DM us there that you'd like to take advantage of our March Madness special. And we're going to give away the second ticket right now, Crash. And the second ticket goes to Bing. King of All Trades has won our second ticket. So King of All Trades is one of the winners. And we had Stacks, the other winner. So again, at DFS Coach Talk. And we will let us know your PayPal email. We'll send you those tickets this afternoon so you can jump in. So to wrap it up, for me, it's going to be more of a stars and scrubs build. I think there's so much good value that you can get for value guys in that aren't way long shots. I think you can get them in there cheap that are going to get it done. But I need some things to fall my way. I want Nick Richards as my center, only if Williams is out. And then, the Irving news and everything else. So stay tuned to Discord. Follow what we have going on there. We'll be posting everything from there and let you know. But a lot of great value, some good pay up spots to go. The guys I'm highest on today, Crash, again, are Markkanen. I think he's in a fantastic spot. We got to wait on the Kyrie stuff. SGA, I think, in a spot that's going to be very, very hard for me to pass up. And then Devin Booker. Those are my guys that I'm really focusing on. How about you?
Yeah, for me, pay up would be Booker, Booker/Irving. If Irving plays, I'm probably going to have just as much of Kyrie Irving as I am Devin Booker.
Okay.
And then mid-level, I would say Chris Dunn, and then value would be Nick Richards. So
okay, no, that all makes sense.
Yeah. And are we gonna have enough time to run through the 2 brains, or are we not gonna have enough time for that?
Yeah, let's do it real quick right now. We'll do you a 2 brains lineup. We gave both tickets away. I want to say hello to everybody else jumping in. Hingo, great to have you. I think you're brand new. I don't know why we don't show up on your YouTube list. All you got, hit the subscribe button right now. We'll always show up. We're 7 days a week. And we would love to have you join the family here. Nathan Beauty, we're going to do a FanDuel 2 brains so you can jump in that tournament. DePrince, you're never too late, man. We are glad to have you in here. All right, we're going to fire through a 2 brains are better than 1 lineup. I am going to build it right now with you. I will start out if you want me to.
Go ahead.
SGA 10-5, because this is my thinking here. This is where he's most expensive. This is where I think his ownership is going to suffer. And I think when he puts 68 on the board, everybody else is going to be wishing they had that 70 bagger.
Yeah, I'm with you. That sounds good to me. Let's see here. Chris Dunn, he's 5,900. It's not like extreme value, but it helps a little bit.
I love it. I'm going to go with Lauri Markkanen, power forward, 9,000.
You're spending all the cash.
Sorry, man. I always spend all the money.
It's all good.
Always spend the dough. What are you thinking, my friend?
A lot of people are going to be going to Josh Okogie, and okay. I see Cameron Payne is priced the same as him. I liked what Cameron Payne did last game, and without Kevin Durant, I think that it's another good spot for Payne. It's a high-tempo game. I just think it's a good spot, so I'm going to go with Cameron Payne at 4,700.
Okay, and so we're going to put him at what position?
Shooting guard.
Okay. Cameron Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. All right. I'm going to go with a cheap guy, Isaiah Livers, $4,300.
And he's a
no ownership.
Or power forward.
Power forward.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't have any ownership.
No ownership. Sneaky guy.
I'll go ahead and take Richards at 5,400.
Yeah. And again, if Richards, if Williams is starting, we may very well have to pull that one. All right, so we have 4,900 left for 2 spots.
I've got 6,700 left for 3. Who did I miss?
Oh, okay. Did I not take a guy? Chris Dunn, SGA, Devin Booker, Cameron Payne.
Oh, I didn't know you had taken Booker. That's what I was missing.
Oh, I didn't until right now. Booker.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry. So it's
good.
We have Dunn, SGA, Booker, Payne, Livers, Markkanen, and Richards. So we need 2 small forwards.
Okay.
And this will be a very contrarian, nice little GPP play for you. But again, some of it's going to have to do with the news. So you got to stay tuned.
I'm going to go with Joe Ingles.
I knew you were going to take Joe Ingles. He was on my board as well.
Yeah.
I really did know you were going to take him. I felt it in my gut.
Yeah.
That leaves me with a guy that I like here. 5,300, maybe it doesn't. Where was the guy that I liked? Okay, I'm in a quandary now. Let's see. Who did I have in there before? So it's Dunn, SGA, Booker, Payne, Ingles. So I have to be 5,300 or less.
Then you had Markkanen. I don't know if you have Markkanen at power forward or small forward. I have him at small forward.
Okay, let me do that. Let me move him to small forward, and then that'll give me a chance to take a power forward because I'm not crazy about the $5,300 and less spots. Oh, Lordy Lord, man. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna go to Jordan Nwora off the bench.
Okay.
I know it's risky, but he's just such a points per minute dude.
Yeah.
And if he throws a 30-some bagger up there, then we're going to be in great shape.
Not a fan of Mo Wagner?
I just don't like him coming off the bench.
Is he coming off the bench?
Yeah, the dude's back. So
Wendell Carter Jr. is back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that could be a 17-minute type thing. Not that Nwora is going to play 35 minutes, but he's so explosive, and I know Mo's going to have a lot more ownership. Hey, you're a Jordan Nwora guy from way back, so
yeah.
You think is he worth the shot here?
I mean, he's been playing pretty well lately.
He just needs the minutes.
Yeah.
But that's news dependent too, because they may have guys out. Right. If Halliburton and McConnell are in, then I'll probably make a change there. But For now, let's go with it. Dunn, SGA, Booker, Payne, Ingles, Markkinen, Livers, Noir, and Richards. And I guarantee you, that is not a lineup that's going to be duped.
No,
that is a unique lineup.
That is a very unique lineup. Very unique. So
we are set, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, we are set. Tomorrow, Sunday, is my solo day, and then Crash and Deb will take you through the entire week. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Double D got in under the bucket, under the buzzer. Yeah, Doug L. Brooks 5,200 is a fine pivot from, and maybe even a better play than Noir. He's probably safer on minutes. So, Brooks, if Halliburton and McConnell are in, Brooks is a great pivot. So I like that you brought that up. All right, Crash, anything else, my friend?
No. Let's see. Yeah, I will have, for everybody that's been paying attention to the WBC, I will have some more lineups for that tonight. So
awesome. Well, we stuck it under an hour.
Even USA Great Britain tonight at 7:00. So
awesome. Okay. Yeah. Great stuff. Well, thank you, my friend. You guys check me out tomorrow at 4 Eastern. We've got that. That'll be up for the Sunday slate. And we'll make sure we follow up with some winners today. Again, for the winners of the contest, and if you want to join, go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk, or you can check us out at dfscoachtalk.com. Crash, have a wonderful Saturday.
You too.
And enjoy your drumming tomorrow, and appreciate everything that you do for Coach Talk.
Sure.
All right, my friends, have a great one. Enjoy it, and I'll be back tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and PrizePicks.